Screen time salutations, all you internet dwellers out there, and welcome to this episode of Screen Time Continuum. I am Nick, and I am joined, as always, by Keelan. How's it going?
It is going fantastic. I can only say that much right now, and I can't wait to talk about this episode, man.
Absolutely. And we got Dejan here. How's it going, bro? Welcome back.
Not too bad. Thank you guys for having me once again.
Absolutely.
And yes, let's do this.
Yeah, let's do this. If you guys have noticed, we actually added Dejan's name at the little top hand right corner there. So he is officially a part of Screen Time Continuum now. And yes, thank you so much, guys, for listening. We're going to be talking about the finale of Captain. I almost did it again, you guys. I almost did it again.
You're not wrong if you do it, though. You're not wrong.
Captain America and the Winter Soldier. There we go. That's fair enough. The series finale. And I think that there's been a lot of people talking about the last episode, and as rightly they should. I really enjoyed a lot of the beats of this episode, but I can't wait to get into it with you guys. So who wants to start first? Keelan, you want to start us off here? Oh, I think you're muted, bro. Yeah, he's miming right now. Well, just one moment, everybody. Keelan's got to get his microphone. But Dejan, what did you think?
Let's see. I loved it from beginning to end, and it's just one of those things where it did. I just loved it. I mean, coming from WandaVision, the whole MCU thing going on. I wasn't honestly, when jumping into it, I did not expect a lot of political things or just current events to pop up. But I should have known better, especially coming back to thinking about Captain America, the First Avenger, Winter Soldier, and Civil War, and it touches upon a lot of stuff. It's like, really, was I going to really not expect this stuff? But yeah, I loved it 100%.
Nice. Yeah, Keelan, you're back. All right.
What do you got? I'm back. Tragedy. Yeah. That's what happened. So what I was saying was, if you guys wanted me to go first, you didn't want to speak. But apparently, the energies of the world did not agree with that statement, so it is no longer valid.
Very good. All right.
As far as the episode, I absolutely enjoyed it. I loved it. You are finally correct by calling it Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Finally.
And, I think I had an equal amount of things I liked and disliked, though, if I'm being honest about this particular episode. And if I have to say, a lot of the things I disliked were because I was hoping that we were falsely informed and we would get a few more episodes, but everything was tied up. So loved the episode, but hated that this was really the end of the series, or at least the season.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that. It was only 6 episodes long, and they were under an hour each episode. So yeah, I can definitely see where it's kind of like, oh, this one did feel a little bit shorter than the rest. I think that it's probably okay, only because they didn't. And this is, I'm going to jump into my critique at least just for one moment, but I don't think that they fleshed out the villains enough for it to go on any longer than it did. And that's just kind of the way I felt about it, because had maybe, Walker or the Flag Smashers been, sort of developed a little bit more, then perhaps we could have taken this to 10 episodes. But I was still very happy with the finale. I thought it was great to see Sam in his new cap suit. I did not know, or I did not think that he was going to be able to keep the wings. I thought it was going to be just a vibranium cap suit. And but now he's Captain Falcon.
That's how it has to go, man. Isn't that the coolest thing though? Because okay, so let's start with that, right? We usually have our theories and our guesses of what's coming next, and in this instance, we were both right. As far as the Wakandans giving him a suit. Right. So you were right about it being a Captain America suit, and I was right about him now having vibranium wings as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Which is awesome. So he has 2 vibranium weapons, and what I loved. I didn't know when I was going to get to this, but since I'm at it now, I'm going to say this. What I loved about those wings, I think they were telepathically connected to him. Like I want to say he was controlling them with his mind. He wasn't giving the wings commands like he used to have to give Red Wing commands.
Oh, right. Yeah. Well, he still had a Red Wing too. But yes, I think that he definitely showed, like, he was definitely using the wings a lot more fluidly. And it did seem like they were more connected to him, almost kind of like a Stark Tech, where it's like, you know, he might have some sort of, like you said, telepathic or some sort of neural network that responds to his thoughts.
Right. And I just didn't want to call it Neuralink. I just didn't want to.
Yeah. But that would be pretty sweet. Dijon, what did you think about the suit?
I loved it because just in case no one really knows it, or I know you guys know it for sure, but just the viewers there, I'm definitely a comic book head. So for me, it was comic book accurate in my opinion. Coming back from it was something back in Marvel, I think. I don't know if it was like 10 years ago. Wasn't too long ago, but yeah. It's called All New. It was like the All New era. Yeah. So basically what Marvel did was basically they passed the torch for a lot of characters. So it seems like what they're doing right now with the MCU, from the movies into the TV shows, they're taking that arc upon to kind of pass the torch to a lot of characters. So you guys will definitely see it when Thor: Love and Thunder comes out, where you see what's her name, Natalie Portman's character become Thor. I don't know how they're gonna do it.
Yeah, I don't know.
She's gonna be like a short-term version of Thor, or they're gonna keep Chris Hemsworth, because as they say, Aussies are very cheap when it comes to in the acting world. So
that is true.
That's why we got Hugh Jackman to play Wolverine for so long. And I didn't read the run when Sam Wilson became Cap, but I knew it was coming, and especially with everything was going on, I was like, oh, I'm actually happy. That actually looks comic book. Look on Zach, just like right on point versus how they kind of mixed it up.
Yeah, I liked that too. I thought that the suit was very, like you said, comic book, like a deferential. I could see that they were trying to pay homage to the comic book style. They weren't trying to make it gritty and realistic. They wanted it to be very bright, very hopeful, almost like Superman, where he's got the big, bright, sort of suit, and that's like stands out.
I felt like the Snyder Cut.
Like, no, unlike the Snyder Cut. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, I felt like, his suit definitely stood out, and it's definitely going to be an iconic suit for sure. Like, you're going to recognize that suit no matter what. And I think that that's really cool. Well, there was one little funny, a funny little quip that I heard. Somebody was saying when they were talking about the suit, his suit is really amazing, except for the fact that it doesn't cover the top of his head where his brain is.
Wow, that is a great point.
If he gets sniped, that's it.
That's it.
That is a great point.
Yeah, I was like, oh damn, yeah, he might want to cover up with that one. Maybe put a hat on or something.
I think he didn't want that big giant ass A on his head.
Well, it's got to be hot too, right? Like you want to have a little bit of airflow. That suit can't be cool. That's for sure.
I mean, with new technology, you never know. Shorty might have put like some of those air ventilation holes and pockets like they put in the tennis shoes nowadays.
Right, it's right. He's got a little mini AC in there.
All that vibranium. I'm surprised they're not calling him Captain Vibranium now.
I know.
God, yeah.
How much do you think that suit's worth, right?
I think what's his name? The French dude. I think his name is the Leaper or something like that. I think he mentioned it too.
Oh yeah. That was GSP. Yeah, George St. Pierre, the MMA fighter, MMA legend. Yeah,
legend for sure. And I want to say, because I wanted to make sure I mentioned this as well. Something I have in my notes. I liked every episode GSP was in because he did very well, except for this episode where you finally get an episode where you're really letting him fight, like full contact on camera, at least what looks like full contact on camera. You're not going to let him get some good form in or nothing?
Yeah, he was a little bit all over the place.
Yeah.
Are you mad about that chair he threw?
The chair. That's kind of like a wrestling homage.
It was
It's
definitely
like
a wrestling homage, but my problem is, so you mean to tell me that still in that's not even still, that aluminum and plastic is going to deflect the vibranium shield? I'm
Right.
calling bullshit.
hey, dude, he probably thought it was going to be a Boondocks moment, and a bunch of people were just going to start squabbling at it.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed the fights that Sam had in this episode. It felt a little bit more like the first episode where he was doing a lot with the wings, and the rescue mission that he has to go on in this episode is really kind of a compelling. I will say that my critique for this season, one of them, is that they really nerfed Bucky.
Mhm.
Like I couldn't understand why it was so hard for him to rip that door open, on the armored car.
Because somehow that little cybernetic lock that's only blocking the middle stopped him from breaking the hinges off the sides.
Right, exactly. And I was thinking, I'm like, dude, Bucky, he's like a straight stone cold killer. He should
Real
not
super
have.
soldier with a vibranium arm.
Yeah,
That's the thing. They had to switch that up because he's such more relatable, or kind of like that PTSD version of someone. He's in his head. And when he was Winter Soldier, he's just like,
he's Bruce Banner in Infinity War then.
Ooh,
basically.
Ouch!
Yeah.
No! Wait! I don't think they did him that bad.
That was pretty bad.
Bruce Banner in Infinity War is not even a character; he's an extra.
Yeah, he is.
Now, if you're gonna give us a cut, we need a Russo brothers cut.
A Russo brothers cut of the Falcon and Winter Soldier.
No.
Oh,
I'm like,
hey,
that's the Empire. That's the Empire cut.
Oh, right.
No, for the Infinity War. War and Endgame. There's so much good stuff, but
yeah,
they
it would be
forget
like the whole movie's worth of deleted scenes in there.
I'm sure.
No, I've been seeing so many of them pop up. There really are like a movie's worth of deleted scenes. The ending alone has a whole different 10 minutes.
Well, I mean, I'm sure that Marvel is going to take advantage on the DVD and Blu-ray sales.
Well,
so.
Yeah, that's where everybody I think is getting them from. Like, I'll say this on here. Has anybody else heard about the Tony scene with his daughter?
Yeah.
You've heard about that?
Blew my mind.
So
have you seen it yet?
I saw no. I saw stills of it. I haven't watched that scene yet. No. But essentially, Nick. So we know we have like the little flash scenes with his daughter, but there's supposedly was supposed to be a post-credit scene that's like 6 minutes long with him meeting his daughter like on the ethereal plane.
Oh, geez, like on the barf technology, or just
no, the Soul Stone.
The Soul Stone.
Right. So he said, "Oh, right, that's exactly how it is. It's through the Soul Stone." And so essentially, the what they're throwing out there, the premise is that is how she finds a way, basically, to bring him back, and he becomes like the new Jarvis or whatever the hell.
Oh, for her, that would be pretty cool. Man, that's a heart tugger right there.
Right. And they pulled that from the movie for a cheeseburger scene.
Of course. Yeah. Well, they probably couldn't put it in there. That would have been too traumatic, man. That one I'd have stole the entire movie if they did that, you know?
I mean, you killed him. Why not?
There you go. Oscar worthy.
Yes, very, very much so. That sounds really good. I definitely want to check that out. But let's get back to Falcon and Winter Soldier. So is there anything that you guys wanted to bring up in particular?
Wow. I really like we said about the fighting scenes, all of the action. I appreciate the time. I'm pretty sure this was the longest episode it took them to shoot. But there are a few things. So I can start with when they all come together. So you have Bucky, you have Sam. They're going in. They have their plan already. Zemo's kind of gotten away, kind of, sort of, not really. That's all said and done. But, there's a little more on Zemo on the back end. What I thought was, he definitely broke the fourth wall, which was so crazy. But what was crazy ahead of that for me was just when you look at the progression and from how they start, and then you have Sharon show up. Sharon's not supposed to be there. And that's from the moment I seen Sharon, I was like, oh shit, what's about to happen? Like, why is she here? Because they told her what was going on, but he definitely didn't say, oh yeah, we need your help.
Right. Yeah.
So you have absolutely no reason to be here right now.
Well, and then we get then we get the reveal, right, of who Sharon is. Yeah.
And so that had a huge red flag for me. And so later on, of course, She's having her moment. She runs into Carly, and Carly's like, "What are you doing here?" And we kind of start putting it together, like, "Oh shoot, Sharon is the power broker," which we kind of figured, but we couldn't prove. We just couldn't prove.
Yeah,
I think it was just one of those moments where everybody during WandaVision was like, "Up, Fantastic Four, up, X-Men are up, that," and it's like, nah, dude. But this is one of the things, like, she's the power broker.
Yeah,
it has to be. There wasn't too many. How many different people did we come up with, Nick? At least 4 or 5, and none of them really. And it came down to either it was Sharon or some mystery person we couldn't remember.
Right. I think I said Claw at one point.
Yeah, which was probably the most likely outside of it being Sharon.
Right. Yeah, but definitely Sharon. I mean, it wasn't even kind of. I mean, like, it was very much hinted at the entire season.
It seemed,
I mean, like, her first appearance is when she's like got some people sniping, like the bad guys for Bucky and Sam, and then she pops up out of nowhere. I'm like, oh, she's definitely got some power, Yeah. And then at the end of the episode where she gets exonerated by the government and given her position back. I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, oh, damn, what is she going to do with that?
So I think we just found out how the Skrull take over.
Do you think she's a Skrull?
I don't think she's a Skrull, but being the power broker, we now, without a shadow of a doubt, know that she is simply power hungry.
Yeah.
Within that, who is one of the most powerful, I'm not going to say the most, but who is one of the most powerful races you could align with in the entire existence of everything? The Skrull. So if she's put back in S.H.I.E.L.D., why wouldn't she help them?
I really need to go back into the Skrull stuff because as far as we know, I mean, like, as far as we've seen in the cinematic universe, there isn't a whole lot of Skrull stuff except for in Captain Marvel, right? And Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., are they in there too?
In the end of WandaVision.
Yeah, at the end of WandaVision. I think the thing is, I'd probably say anything of Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. from here on out, I would just probably include that. I think after, I forgot what season, I think it was the second to last season, I think you can expect you really won't see some stuff from Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. And I started thinking about that because, and this is why, this is another theory I got. Well, it's not a theory, but I'm curious about another TV show that they're going to be doing later on this year, which is Miss Marvel. I think they're just taking a whole new different route with it because I think this issue with the whole thing with Captain Marvel, I think they were still trying to deal with copyrights of characters with Fox because the Skrulls are supposed to be like this Fantastic Four type villain thing because they deal with them quite a bit. And I think they had to like reinvent it. So when I seen them in Captain Marvel, I was like, wow, that's a surprise. They totally did a whole 360, made them like a race that are basically like this whole, as people say, this woke or political correctness thing about issues with immigrants kind of thing. So it seems weird. Have you guys seen Spider-Man? What's the last Spider-Man movie called? Far Away from Home?
Yes. Yeah.
You guys,
not at all.
Oh, you got.
It's you know what? Being truthful, I actually may have. I'm just being funny.
I'm just asking because then too, you guys are golden, but some of the people I work with, they act like they know what's going on when it comes to the Marvel universe. But I know that after scene credit where Nick Fury was a Skrull.
Yep.
Right.
Then you find out that they're in space doing something. And his TV show is supposed to be the Secret Invasion. So we might see that even more
TV
so.
show?
Samuel's. I think that's going to be his show.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know
That's
cool.
One. Yeah.
Hey, man, they got enough money to pay that
hey,
dude.
man, as long as he can drop at least 3 F-bombs in the whole series, I'm fine with it.
Well, yeah,
They should be able. I mean, they drop shit and damn so many times.
Yeah, those are the easy ones. The F-bomb, they got to pay that.
That might be a hard sell. You might have to wait for Deadpool on that one.
There's a movie, was it Be Cool, with John Travolta.
Yep.
And he throws out some info about you can only say the F-bomb 3 times in like a PG movie or something. And he's like, fuck, fucking fuck. And that was that's it.
And that was it. Yeah. That was a PG-13 movie too. Yeah. I remember that.
I actually think that's where I learned that, for the record.
That was like one of The Rock's breakout roles too.
Hey, he played a good gay guy.
Yes, he did. He was
very believable.
I really enjoyed that movie.
I might watch that one.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, I was going to ask you guys, what do you think about the sort of the way Walker interacted with this episode? Because I was kind of impressed that they didn't go the full villain route for Walker. I thought that was really interesting because I thought they were going to just make him just a straight up villain. And then, he was just going to have this kind of like one dimensional thing, but he kind of decides to not be the villain at the end.
So I'm glad,
at least for now.
Right. So here's the thing. I was actually going to bring up the fight and get into that. So that's perfect for me, as to where my brain was, at least. Right. So I think what happens is this. I think he got a little sense beat into him.
Right.
Like just being totally honest, because from the beginning, there's this arrogant human thing he has going where it's like, oh, I'm the baddest guy in the military. They chose me to be Captain America. And it's like, oh, I'm not as bad as I thought I was. Now he's doubting himself. Then he goes on the anger streak. Then he loses his best friend. It breaks him. We knew it broke him. Then you run into this fight after you've been reassured that you are the guy you think you are, to only be reminded in the first 2 minutes, no, you're not.
Yeah.
And if you want to be the guy you think you are, you might want to learn a little bit more about how this all is really working and how it goes. Because even the bad guys aren't necessarily the bad guys. They just have a difference of opinion on how to get the same goal that you guys are actually working towards.
I'm gonna have to push against that and eventually. But yeah, I get
no
you.
No worries. So I think for Walker, and I'm not gonna lie, I liked it, but I thought it was a bit cheesy. In the sense of we still don't really know what he stands for.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair, and I think that we're probably going to find more of that out as more franchises come out. Just because obviously at the end of this episode he becomes U.S. agent, and he gets like the black cap suit, which. Yeah, I know. It didn't look very good. I didn't like the thing on the front. Like, I don't know what that was. The red and the white like shield thing.
So I know it. I know what it is. It's just it doesn't make sense yet. That's not his suit.
Oh, really? Whose suit is
That's not his suit. That's so the next Captain America after Sam is, and I forget his name right now, but Isaiah's grandson.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That's
He's supposed to be.
I can't remember what his name is. Like the Patriot, right?
Yeah. I think it's the Patriot.
I think he's the Patriot. Yeah,
he's the Patriot. He's basically like the whole, how would you call it, like Robin thing. Basically, like the Robin of that sense. That U.S. agent, that's accurate, to tell you the truth, because that shit was like. There's certain. I mean, I wasn't a fan of Cap until the movies, to tell you the truth. So Chris Evans made it for what it was, and just learning a lot of shit from the series. Like, there was a few people that was Captain America as well, and I think what they're trying to get at it, because I think we're going to see this more with Ant-Man and the Wasp, the third installment, the whole thing with his daughter, because she's going to be taking up the mantle of like some like Ant Girl or something, and I think they're working towards like I'm trying to remember what the hell is it called?
Young Avengers.
Yeah,
working towards.
Isaiah's. We
could call him Little Isaiah because we don't know his name.
Yeah, not yet. Anyways, yeah. So, well, that would be kind of cool. I think that would be kind of cool. I definitely want to see also. I want to see Sam recruit some new Avengers. It's kind of, like I think that we kind of have to ask, like, what are the Avengers doing at some point? And it would be kind of cool to see maybe, part of, Captain America 4 is him, putting together a team again. I think that would be really dope. I mean, you'd have White Vision, you'd have Bucky, you'd have White Vision's coming back. You don't think
They
that
just
you
have
don't
to
think
change his name.
I know it's
White Vision's
terrible.
coming back. They just have to change his name.
I agree. It is very
No, keep it. It'd be great.
Call him Clear Vision or something. Just
Clear.
I know, right?
And I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
Continuously calling him White Vision, it's kind of like,
it's a little cringe.
yeah, it's like, am I okay for calling him that? Should I keep implanting?
You can call
Yeah,
him
I think I'm gonna
albino vision.
I think I'm going to be put on a list if I say it one more time, so I better not.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been there. I've been referring to myself, so I've been there. I know how that feels.
Right.
Facebook.
Yeah.
So, and I wanted to comment really quick back to John, or stay on John for a moment. So about the fight. So he rushes in, he gets beat up. Am I the only one that was trying to figure out, like, how do you get beat up like that? And then when Sam saves your life, no, I'm sorry, when Bucky saves your life, because Bucky saved his life. Buck saves his life, and instead of like, okay, let me sit here and fight, you just continue to rampage after Carly. Which is why I got to what I was saying about I'm not sure what his intentions are yet. Because yeah, you gave up your intent to kill her when you had the chance, so you can save the innocents. But I mean, hell, even a broken clock is wrong twice a day.
Yeah, or right twice a day. Yeah, no,
I'm sorry. Yeah, you get me. I'm sorry. No. Right twice a day. Nobody screen record that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that there's definitely. I don't think that he's done the full like face turn. I don't think that he's going to be like this hero. I think he's going to be very Punisher-esque.
I was thinking.
I mean, like in the suit looks like the Punisher suit too, kind of in some ways. So, yeah, I mean, like I think we're going to see Punisher-esque sort of U.S. agent. Yeah,
you're right. It does look like the Punisher suit, but he does give me Punisher vibes.
Yeah.
If we were to, like, if I had to call him, I would say he is like a super soldier Punisher.
Right.
And the thing that really made Frank Castle dope is like he wasn't any kind of superhero. He was just a murderer.
Just a really, really dangerous guy.
Right. Yeah. John Wick before we learned his name.
Yeah, that's very true. Exactly.
Funny enough, he was Cap in like DC calls them other worlds. And basically like a what if story, which I can't wait when they're gonna do this summer.
The series.
What if stories.
Nice.
So yeah, Frank Castle was Captain America. I was like, oh,
I mean, wasn't Wolverine not Wolverine, excuse me. Wasn't the Hulk Captain America at one point as well?
A lot of people were. Like, a lot of people were.
I'd like to see a Hulk Captain America. Maybe a Hulk Wolverine. Or Hulk. Oh, yeah. Man, that would be an incredible
There's
fight.
Apparently a werewolf Hulk. No, not the fight. There's apparently a werewolf Hulk comic somewhere, and I have like, he's the Hulk, but he has like hair like Sabretooth and claws like Wolverine. Oh, I have to find that.
Oh, jeez.
Dude, there's it's funny because this is all kind of like circling. The guy who I guess made it happen for Captain America to be black will be Sam Wilson. He was writing Venom years before that, and his whole Venom thing is when he makes Flash Thompson from Spider-Man Venom, and he calls him Agent Venom. But anyways, there's this arc where it's pretty dope where Red Hulk. Is it Red Hulk? Yeah, it's Red Hulk. He has the symbiote. They call it the Circle 4. He has a symbiote. He has a spirit of vengeance. And I think something else.
He has like one of the weapon. He has like a weapon too.
A weapon.
I want to say he bonds with like another version of Carnage, right?
Or he has like Thor's like axe.
The Venom symbiote.
It's the Venom. I thought it was the Carnage symbiote, and for whatever reason he had control over it. It didn't drive him nuts.
Yeah, I saw that article where it was talking about how like Venom became like the most powerful Marvel character at one point, just because he had all of that stuff going on.
That's currently right now. I honestly don't want to touch that. It's ranking the whole shit.
I want to make sure I have this right. Agent Venom and Anti Venom are not the same.
At the moment, yes, they kind of
are. They are the same. Okay.
Because it got to a point where Flash Thompson ends up losing the symbiote and he ends up going back to what's his dude name? Eddie Brock. And he ends up getting a new version of the anti-venom suit. So basically he's just like inverted. He's just, instead of being black and white stripes, It's
Mhm.
basically
White
the
with
white
black
with black
stripes.
stripes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So evidently, in the comic book universe right now, he's supposedly coming back. I mean, that's my favorite dude.
Right on. We'll have to look into that. And so let's see. There's other stuff that we should be mentioning. I really like the. I guess we can try to wrap up the fight, right? So
Yeah.
Carly and the Flag Smashers get defeated. Carly gets shot by Sharon.
By Sharon after a standoff, which was a stupid standoff.
Yes, it was a stupid standoff. Honestly, and this is what drives me crazy a little bit, because I understand that Sam is trying to exhibit that captain quality where he's like compassionate and he's trying to see all sides of things.
Mhm.
But like it for some reason I just couldn't buy the idea that Sam would give Carly so much leeway. Like, she's already killed many people before, and you're treating her as though she can be redeemable. And even Zemo says himself, like, no, she's irredeemable. She's gone at this point. And I kind of like, I understand, like, oh, he doesn't want to give up hope on people, and I think that that's really beautiful. But it really bothered me when he stood up for her when he did the speech. I was just like, oh, come on, bro, come on. Like, and even the GRC people is like, okay, so you mean to tell me that 50% of the planet isn't going to get their homes back? And they kind of just gloss over that, and they're like, but she was a good person, and maybe you should think about why she wanted to kill you guys. What?
It's really weird. Okay, and you're right, Dan. This is just the end of the fight. I'm thinking, like, isn't this is a little after? No, this is the end of the fight.
No, he's right after. Yeah.
So right, she gets killed. He flies her in, and then he has a speech,
like an angel.
Like an angel.
Yes.
Actually, he flew in exactly like Michael. Well, no, not Michael. Like what was that? Constantine, Archangel. Michael. What was Constantine? Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was in like that. It looked exactly like a Constantine. So, but during the speech, so here's the thing about that speech, and it was a powerful speech. We get that. It was necessary for him to defend her, and it's what we were talking about a little bit off air. It's what everybody knows who saw the episode. It's what they were addressing in reality, what they were addressing in real life. Marvel is really trying to, like, they bring in a speechwriter for that moment. I promise you.
Oh,
that wasn't a script writer. Someone wrote a speech and they found a way to implement it into the dialogue.
Right.
And the reason behind that is they're trying to make those powerful statements that, I'll say it this way, that the Black community specifically says they refuse to have on television.
No, I understand that for sure. Yeah.
And so I think that moment of him defending her, because it's hard to say, in my opinion, that he was defending her more than just trying to speak the truth of something you may not understand. Like that you guys are sitting in a room, like he said to them, you're sitting in a room with people who are living your lifestyle. How would you know what these people are going through? Like, you can put whatever label you want on them, but what is their purpose? What are they working towards, and what are you working towards? Sure, there's always going to be gray area. And I think that was the whole point behind her mentioning the home situation, because there's always going to be a gray area. There's always going to be an area where it's like, no, everybody needs some level of sustenance and help and assistance. But I think what he was trying to push forth is, who are you guys to decide who deserves it more?
Yeah, I understand that. Let me push back now, because this has been driving me effing nuts the entire time. Like, I was literally yelling at the TV because, one, what Sam has to say about like, he even said something really powerful. Like, I'm wearing the stars and stripes right now, and there are going to be people that hate me for it. Right. I think that that's a powerful message. There's nothing wrong with that message. My critique is for the Globe Smashers. It's ridiculous. The Flag Smashers. I don't even care.
It was a dumb name. Let's just say it. Let's say it finally. It was. I think you really
hate the name.
I do. I definitely do hate the name. But so their argument is, and I'm going to break this down as concisely as I can so that people can understand where I'm coming from. Their argument is that life was better after half of the population was snapped away. They got to go move into all of these people's homes and take their resources, right? And so then these people who were snapped out of existence get blipped back into existence, and then have to go to refugee camps that the GRC is funding and operating. And the GRC is saying, hey, we can't hold these refugee camps forever. We need to repatriate these people. And the Flag Smashers are saying, no, we like the world now that these people aren't around. You guys should just leave them in the refugee camps. That is the crux of their philosophy, and that is why I can't get on with Sam like trying to defend them, and especially a flimsy defense of, oh well, have you ever thought about why they were trying to kill you? No, because you don't think about why a terrorist is doing what they're doing, because then you're giving into them. That's a crazy thing to be like, well, maybe you should think about why they're trying to kill you, and maybe they were right about that. No, that's not the way that works. Now I understand they're trying to be morally ambiguous and they're trying to be gray and nuanced about stuff. I get that, but the whole flag smasher philosophy is anti-human. It's an anti-human philosophy. And I can't sit there and say like, oh, Carly wasn't that bad. No, she literally wanted half of the population. If she could have snapped the finger and got rid of those people, she would have.
Right. Well, and so I'm sorry. I don't want to cut you.
No, that's it. Okay. I'm done.
So, well, so and that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not. And again, this isn't to debate, but simply to add and just make sure that we're
for sure
putting as much of it out there as we can. Mm-hmm. So, I don't think he was, and that's what I was trying to say. I don't think he was defending them. I think it's that notion of, wow, I'll have to use a basketball analogy, right? So, a bad shot for most people is simply a shot that doesn't go in, point blank, period. It doesn't matter if it was a layup or it was from the half court line. If it doesn't go in, it's a bad shot. If it goes in, okay, fine, it worked. It's a good shot. I think even with Sam bringing up how old Carly was, continuously mentioning, you don't want to see what version 2.0 is like. I don't think he was saying they were right. I don't think by any means he was trying to say they were right. I think he was simply trying to bring light to what birthed a teenager leading this entire rebellion against all of the governments. And to the point at which he explained clearly, like maybe like even say if all three of us still don't understand even what they were really trying to get at, right? The show proved that there was a good portion of people in the communities and in the world that whether they understood or not, they were going along and assisting with it. And that was kind of his point, in my opinion, which was maybe we don't understand. Maybe you guys don't understand because you're not living in the world. Hell, maybe Sam, as he's talking, doesn't really get what Carly was trying to get accomplished. But she had people who were in all levels and ranks of the world ready to make a move on her bid.
Just not the people that were in refugee camps that got displaced from their homes.
I agree with that. That part I noticed as well, because I was kind of like, why the refugees ain't helping? But that was another conversation.
Yeah.
And so, and I also was curious as to that too, because I think something that Sam should have said to the people from the repatriation council that he was speaking to in front of the cameras. Okay, cool. You're removing these people, and then you're over here talking about how you're going to remove these people and then put them in other places, but the funding and this and stuff. But you're not even telling those people that that's what your intent is.
Well, and I think that's kind of the crux of my argument too. Had we seen the GRC do some terrible things, maybe I would feel more sympathetic. Too, We didn't see the GRC do anything bad. They're just a bureaucracy like the United Nations. That would be like a terrorist cell taking over the United Nations and then saying, you guys have to do better because we'll kill you. Like that's, I don't know. I'm not making any statements politically. I'm just saying. But that's kind of like what it is. We didn't, and I think that's the crux of my argument. Is we didn't see the GRC do anything evil. At least in my estimation, unless I missed something. Did I miss something?
No. And correct me if I'm wrong here on this one, Dijon. Would you agree that because I'm sure Nick would agree with this, we didn't see them do anything wrong, but the plot line was just trying to like, oh, all governments are bad.
I think it was one of those things where it was just like, yeah, all governments are bad.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think just to go with what you guys are saying is that I think it had a lot to do with that whole speech. That speech was just one of those things where they were trying to hit a note of what was happening.
And a nerve.
Yeah, that's what's the current events of what's happening now, or even what probably happened politically for the last 4 years. But it's just one of those situations where it's like, yeah, we don't know, and I don't know. It's just one of those things where the whole thing with the flag smashers, I think it was perfectly done great for the simple reason that when something make you think like that, or just like I teed you off, like their whole motive, Nick, is that I think it did its purpose, because I've seen different villains or different organizations, And they usually always start off like that. And it's just like a country, a nation, whatever. They all start off with a noble cause or a noble reason. Then there's always either that one or two extremists in that group to try to justify why they continue to do it. And I think it wasn't anything of the Flag Smashers. I think it was just mainly Carly. She was the extremist out of anything else. And I think everybody else wanted to, live in harmony. And you know what? Going back to the whole blip thing, dude, if we were to live in a world like that, I can see things on both sides in a sense where I don't think anybody seen what was coming. Then I don't think anybody even knew that they would freaking snap back into existence. Yeah. And I tell myself, and that whole thing bugs me if you really start really digging into the events. Like, dude, what the fuck happened if a baby was left there? What the fuck happened if this and that happened? And it's just one of those things where, hey, if I was turned to dust for 5 years and I come back and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I come in, my wife is remarried and my son is like calling some other dude daddy.
I still know how to use guns. I don't care. No, I'm sorry.
Well, and then the world doesn't want you anymore. So wouldn't we have compassion for those people that are blipped back into existence?
And I think that was the whole thing of the Flag Smashers to a point. And I think the GRC was just like, nah, we're going to put shit back together.
But the GRC was trying to get those people back to their homes. I mean, like, this is what I'm saying is like, this is a weird colonialist message here. It's these people lost their homes and their resources after being blipped away. People moved into those resources and homes. And then when they came back, these people that came back have nothing. And then this bureaucracy is put in place to try to give these people something back. But the Flag Smashers are like, nah, you guys take care of them for the rest of their lives. And we wanted all the resources.
Pretty much. And it's just like one of those things where it's like no givey back. So it's just like, if I come back home,
no takesy backsies.
Like if I go back home and I'm like, I'm gonna want my wife back and back. I want my life back. I'm like, I want the fuck. And it's a situation where it's like, it's not going to work that way. And I think what Sam was kind of throwing out there, this is where I think it was a conflict between trying to make script it to be real world events to trying to stay on beat with just the comic, the TV show itself, where he's like, I don't know. Because honestly, I wouldn't know how I really fix that. Like,
that's
a hard thing to take care of.
And I don't, I mean, as I said, I don't criticize Sam for his speech. I think that he said some really poignant stuff. I just think that, the philosophy of the Flag Smashers is just so diabolical, but you still tried to humanize because Carly's a cute girl. And if this was some gruff dude that was the head of the Flag Smashers, nobody would care. It's only because she's a young girl.
Yeah. Are we running with the fact that she was cute, or just the fact that she was young enough to where Sam thought he could save her? Because that's what I thought it was happening.
Well, I don't think that Sam was attracted to her. I'm just saying that, if this was...
I didn't mean that you thought Sam was attracted to her. I'm just saying in the sense of even like the people following her, right?
Yeah.
It's like we were saying a minute ago, it's like excuse me, like Dijon was saying a minute ago about how she seemed to be more of the extremist than the others. Do you think like not just Sam trying to help her, not even just like the world's view on her, the people who were helping her, do you think that was more so they felt like, okay, this passion in her can really get us somewhere positive? Or,
well, let's put it this way. If GSP was Carly, would anybody sympathize with the Flag Smashers?
If GSP was Carly, he'd cut off fingers for
he would have been much more effective, probably. But
he definitely would have been more effective. But I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
And you are correct, I believe.
Wait. Who's GSP?
Oh, the French.
The leopard.
Yeah, the French guy.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I think it was a message definitely to be shown with her. I mean, we kind of see it towards the end. Well, honestly, when she blew up that building with all those people in there, we seen that Asian dude like.
Yeah, he was looking at her side-eyed for sure. Yeah.
And they were just like, okay, we're kind of forcing in here, but we all super soldiers. We can beat your ass, but you know what? We're just going to...
You know what's weird?
Okay.
Apparently nobody could beat Carly up.
Yeah, I questioned that very strongly because they did not try to challenge her.
No, that's very true.
Twig.
Hey, that twig definitely snapped Lamar with one hit.
She did. Very much so. Yeah.
Like Sam said, hey, that little girl beat your ass.
Yeah. Well, and that's really my only critique about the show is just that I think the Flag Smashers, I don't like how I'm always hesitant when misanthropy becomes sympathetic because I think that it's sending mixed messages to people. I don't like this concept that humans are just some sort of plague on the world, and like it's better off. We're better off if Thanos had snapped half of them away. I think that that's a propaganda tool to condition people outside of the show to start disliking humans. So I don't really like those messagings, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, so you're saying it's fine to kill people?
Yeah, it's fine to have half of the population gone because think about no traffic. Think about all the homes that you can live in now.
Such a Thanos sympathizer. I knew it.
Yeah.
Knowing that Darwin way of thinking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But anyways, the speech I thought was really powerful. I thought it was really powerful that he kind of like, that even the scene where Isaiah is watching the speech happen, I thought that was really poignant. I think he did a good job about being that sort of diplomatic character that we expect from Captain America. So I understand why he did that, because he's trying to embody that ethos of that spirit, So I don't fault Sam for that at all. My criticism is for the Flag Smashers. So
Can't argue with that because they definitely deserve some criticism.
Oh yeah.
Now, and as far as the speech being televised and the way it was, I don't think that was intended upon by Sam.
Probably not. I think he was just talking to GRC people.
Yeah, he just saw an opening to be that guy.
Yeah.
Right. And if you ask me, it's an opening that I don't think he was afforded without the suit.
Yeah.
Without
right.
the Captain America image. And I think him utilizing that pushes more home what his point was about being what Captain America is, who Captain America is, and what Captain America means.
Yeah,
I think Sam's point right now, as far as what he showed in the last episode, or what they had him show in the last episode, is anybody could be Captain America. Where's your heart? What are your intentions? Right. What are you looking to do in life? Because Captain America isn't about being black or white. It's about being the captain of America. Which America is supposed to stand for unity and justice. So the captain of unity and justice.
Right. Absolutely.
Honestly, to tell you the truth, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, this show is too damn woke. It's so political. And honestly,
I never thought that.
I didn't think it once, but
no.
Yeah. And it's funny because I see all these comments on Facebook and I see Twitter and all this stuff. And I'm like, look, people, all this you guys calling politically correct, woke, look, it's a thing of the past. You guys are just choosing to address it now. And it's always been in our action movies, our superhero flicks. It's been in our TV shows. It's always been there.
Yep.
I'm like, come on, go back to fucking that episode of Golden Girls with Don Cheadle and the credit.
There are entertainment's always trying to push a message. Always.
It's always there, and it's just we as the people. I think we decided to choose more, and you know what? I love that about this show because me personally, especially one of my favorite superheroes is Spider-Man, and one thing Stan Lee says upon it, that's one of his favorite superheroes, and beyond that, his creations, and it's because he embodies what the people go through, the struggles of everybody's life, that persona of it. And the biggest thing I love, especially with the whole idea of like Into the Spider-Verse and the Miles Morales thing, is that it doesn't matter if Spider-Man is to be black or white. Anybody can be Spider-Man, basically giving us to the viewers, like, we can always have that power to be the hero we always wanted to be.
Yeah. It's an idea.
And I love that for this show. And it's just like, this many people are bitching about him being black possibly and not knowing, the source material in its own way. But who gives a rat's ass, man? It's just the idea that
I think that Yeah, I think anybody that's bitching about Captain America being black is acting in bad faith, because the writing was on the wall since Infinity War, since like we all knew that this was coming, and so like it's so ridiculous to even like make that point. I think that if you want to have critiques about the things like I talked about, which I don't approve of, this sort of anti-humanism that gets spread all too often, then that's fine. But this thing about the woke stuff, like it's like this show is making a point because it's surrounded on such a touchy topic, which is how does a black man in America become Captain America? You know what I mean? Like that's intrinsically is going to have politics in it. It's going to have politics. So like if you're surprised by that, then you just haven't been paying attention.
And if you go to those comics, when Sam becomes Cap, it's there. And I wanted to say, have you guys watched The Boys yet?
Yeah, I love that show.
I've not.
Oh, you gotta watch it.
So good.
See, I forget that chick's name. I know her last name is Cash.
Oh yeah, Cash.
Anya Cash. If many people don't know it, she's from You're the Worst and Wolf of Wall Street. That one scene when she like destroys everybody in that
in the building,
that apartment unit, and I sat there and realized, like, holy crap, that they're just embodying what's going on with police brutality, and I'm like, and a lot of people did not catch that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, and she literally was. Well, I don't want to spoil too much, but she literally has a history that would explain.
No, you're good. I mean, if no one's seen The Boys.
Keelan hasn't.
I'm sorry. No, I'm about to ask a history that would explain.
Yes, she definitely has a history that would explain the actions that she does. I will not tell you because you're definitely going to have to watch it because you'll really like it.
I just want to hear yes or no. Like backwoods, South Carolina, Florida, that type of.
That kind of stuff, yeah.
Think a little bit farther back, though. Yeah,
hanging out with Ghost, Pac-Man style.
Yeah. But yeah. So I think The Boys definitely had that as well. And as I said, like if you're thinking that this is too political, then again, you haven't been paying attention. The Sam's struggle is inherently political. So like you just have to appreciate it for what it is.
Crazy enough, every Cap movie has definitely been on that.
All of them. I mean, Captain America literally is a political character.
Even Iron Man films.
Wearing a flag. How could he not?
He's wearing a flag. Exactly.
War Machine is political, and you mean to tell me people don't think Captain America would be political?
Right. Punching Nazis and doing all of that stuff. Come on.
I cannot wait for She-Hulk to come out, and I definitely can't wait for Ms. Marvel to come out because we're going to deal with
2-minute sidebar. Can we get a quick 2-minute sidebar?
Sure.
2 actresses you would like to see play She-Hulk. Doesn't matter the ethnicity, just 2 actresses that you would like to see.
I got one, and that's it. Gina Carano.
Okay, that was one for me.
Because Disney would have to take her back.
They owe her. Yeah, I'm about to say, and they definitely owe her a real role after that. But whatever, we're not gonna talk about that because
Agreed.
I don't know what happened behind closed doors. I only know what they told us in public.
Fair. It's very woke. Yes. That's all you need to know. It's very woke.
But so Gina Carano, that's one
for sure. For She-Hulk, yeah, Gina Carano, or I mean, like I would even be okay with like Ronda Rousey doing it.
Too short.
Yeah, too short. That's fair. I need somebody taller then.
She's a tall gal.
Yeah, I don't know. Like a female MMA fighter would be good. I just don't know who.
Honestly, they're all pretty small too, but they have the size.
Yeah.
The mass.
I know they do got an actress already for her. I don't remember. But then too, for me, I have no idea. I don't have anybody at the top of my head.
What about you, Keelan? You seem to have somebody in mind.
So I already have Gina Carano. Like that was just easy, which you suck because I didn't think nobody. I really thought like it's been a while. Nobody's thinking about her. Who cares about the Mandalorian?
Yeah.
So that did take a little bit of wind out of my sails. But no, you're fine. But and I can't remember her name. I actually was trying to look up her name really fast. She played in the Thor movies. She played Valkyrie.
Oh yeah, Tessa Thompson.
Tessa Thompson. They could definitely reprise her as She-Hulk.
I could see it as like especially if her character was kind of mousy,
right? And
maybe
for
a little
quality.
bit
For acting quality.
Yeah, she's a great actress. Yeah, I like her in Westworld. She's very good in Westworld too.
And I've never seen. I need to pick up.
There's so many things that we got to review, man. Oh my god!
and these are all things that people are always like, you have to watch that, and I'm just like, watching a tech podcast or something, or you like, come on, man. try to listen to things on the go, and you want me to learn this,
right? Okay, so we got a little bit more. We should definitely talk about the Cap Museum scene.
I think so sorry. I just had to look up.
Oh yeah, go for it.
They already casted, I guess, whoever's going to be in a human version of her or whatever.
Awesome.
Her name is Tatiana Maslany.
Has she been in anything that we would
Don't know?
Yeah, maybe.
Seems like a fresh body.
Yeah, that's cool too.
That sounds wrong.
Yeah, well, yeah. a newbie. Yeah, maybe a newbie to the acting scene. But that'd be cool. I'm always down for new actors. Definitely.
Okay. I see what I've seen her in. Heartland.
She's a Canadian.
Oh, Canadian, eh? Nice.
And that was so long ago that I thought I was I'm sitting here thinking like, no, that's just somebody else who looks like her. Like, nope, that was her in Heartland. And it was like, really, I'm looking at it like, oh, it was really that long ago, where it's like, oh, you remembered her when she was like 10?
I guess so.
Not really 10.
Nice. Oh, okay.
But
all right,
15 years, so close to it.
15. Yeah. Let's start to wrap this up. I want to talk about the Cap Museum. I think that that's probably one of the biggest scenes, right? That's the biggest emotional scene in the whole episode, I think.
Yeah, I think the museum scene, and then the scene that came right before that, which we'll talk about after, the Yuri scene. Those are probably two of the most powerful image-related scenes that we got in this series, and they brung both characters full circle.
Yeah.
So the Cap Museum, I'm not gonna lie, I expected Isaiah to be a little bit bothered. Like, I told you not to not to follow it. Like, I told you to forget me,
Yeah.
But to see that, for him to take him to the museum after he's now all over the television as the new Cap, I think that changed how he received that.
Well, and it was really beautiful too, because it's like Isaiah is so used to everybody giving up on him that Sam just decided he wasn't going to, and I think that that's where it really got to Isaiah, is that somebody actually just didn't give up on him. I
think it was like poetic justice for our forgotten vets too, as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Big time. Yeah, no, I definitely got the warm and fuzzies from that episode or that scene. It was very powerful. It was great. It was great to see that moment for sure.
Definitely. So, and I want to ask this about that scene. Mm-hmm. Do you guys feel like? Do you think that this isn't so much about the wing, but the museum itself, right? How do you think that came about? Like, do you think there is something more to that museum? Like, there's like a layer somewhere, or Steve's body is frozen there, like it's a cryo museum,
That'd be cool. Yeah, I'd like
that. He's on the moon, man.
He's on the moon.
Really? He's on the moon?
Oh, that's what they said in this episode.
They did say something like that, didn't they?
He's on the moon.
Yeah. Somebody's like, I thought Captain America was on the moon.
You're right. He's on the moon watching. Yeah. He's on the dark side of the moon.
Dark side of the moon. No, I would like to understand a little bit more about what the Cap Museum is, because it's like, how big could the Cap Museum be? Like, I know that he's done a lot. Does it include the other Avengers? Does it? Yeah, I would definitely like to see like what because I'm assuming that Disneyland's going to make the exact same thing in one of their parks. I guarantee you.
I get you. Wow.
There will be an Avengers.
It probably is already there.
And maybe he is, yeah.
Probably at Orlando, or something.
We ain't getting shit.
Yeah, they're not giving us nothing no time soon.
No.
We got California Adventure, about 12 years ago? That's still new to them.
Try 20 years ago.
Was like Japan already?
Yeah.
I'm like, Japan is getting Mario Kart Land and shit.
Oh, I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous.
He said, what?
Nintendo Land. Yeah.
You got Mario Karts out there in the Nintendo Land, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Orlando's getting it, and we're on the back burner to get it last.
Look, I'll be Waluigi just to go.
Right.
They're
Just for
still
the
gonna
fun
show
of
him hate. They're still gonna show him hate, man.
Oh, easily.
You're not getting that. Mm-mm.
Right. What was the scene that you wanted to talk about?
The Yuri scene. So after, they're having their discussion,
yes.
and as we alluded to before, you have Bucky and Sam. They were going through their, heart to heart, and Sam just was like honest and straightforward with Bucky. Like, if you really want to get better, you were being an Avenger. Don't be an Avenger. Go and actually be of service to these people that you feel you owe. Make amends.
Right.
And so he finally makes the decision to go and talk to Yuri about killing his son. And it was so crazy because, again, we see this guy who we know is probably one of the most stone cold killers in the entire Marvel universe. And he's timid and shy in this moment of having to be honest about an atrocity he committed to someone that he's grown to actually be fond of, to me, he actually has grown to care about. But I have to be honest with you and tell you that the reason you no longer have a son is because of the Winter Soldier, and that was me.
Yeah.
And what I love was Yuri's follow-up was just why. And, it panned off as if he went on to tell him who he was and why and explain it all to him.
Let's hope so.
Right. So I assume that's what happened, because then we turn, and then that next scene is him walking down the street, passing by the bar that they always go to, and he's being poured a drink by the young girl. So that tells me that he was able to remain James, no matter what he said, no matter what did or didn't. He was able to be James, no matter how emotional it got, and he walked out of there James, not Bucky, not the Winter Soldier, James. And for me, I wanted to talk about that a little.
Yeah. I thought that was a good scene. I wish that we could have actually seen it happen. That would have been nice. I do feel kind of bad for Bucky, because it's like, well, that was his only friend, and now he's back to being like this, drifter again. And it's like,
he got to move to New Orleans now.
He's got to go move in with Sam, because he's got no friends.
He's trying to talk to his sister. He's trying to get some.
That's not gonna happen. He got vibranium now. They can have a real fight.
Yeah, exactly. But no, like maybe he can, work on the fishing boat or whatever for a summer or something like that. But I definitely hope that he finds himself a community, because it's kind of a bummer if he just becomes this like loner drifter guy.
Yeah, I think so too as well. I mean, because you can see it, like he's found. I think him being there with Sam's community and family, it's kind of like brings him back to how he kind of grew up with Steve back in that time period. Like he found a place to be.
Yeah.
Because I know they made reference to him always trying to help out Steve and his mom the best way he can. So it's kind of like,
right.
It's
because they grew up in the slums of New York, right?
Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think it was really sweet that, like he wanted to make those amends. I think it was good that he sent the book to his therapist. And I'm happy that we did get to have a scene where, him and Sam are just relaxing. That was definitely needed.
Much needed.
Yeah, you got to be able to decompress after all of that stuff. And, to see them, everybody socializing and kind of being happy, it makes it feel good. It's like, all right, maybe we can get to something, something approximating happiness here. Because it was a very serious show most of the time. So it's like, it's good to see that sort of like that healing and people just trying to forget the craziness that just happened and have a beer and hang out with their friends. Yeah, exactly. Definitely. And then what was the last scene? Was the last scene Walker or Sharon? Sharon's the last scene. Yeah.
Well, technically Sharon is a post-credit scene because the credits started rolling.
Correct.
So
You're right.
Walker would be the last scene. She would be the post-credit, and then there was nothing. I watched all the way to the end of the credits, hoping like, oh, they're gonna give us one more, and they didn't.
No.
They spoiled us.
I was mad. They do. They spoil us so bad that I was just like, come on, give me something new. And then, it doesn't matter what came on next. But what came on next had me like, really? This is your suggestion for me? But
hey, you got till June.
Yes, until Loki comes out, and then we'll
Incorrect. We just have to find out where the MODOK movie is coming out. Patton Oswalt is supposed to voice the MODOK animated movie.
Oh, okay.
No, it's gonna be
MODOK is. Or is it? Oh, I'm sorry. Is it a TV show?
It's gonna be on Hulu.
Oh, it's on Hulu.
Oh.
That's why. Okay. So yeah, I saw a small I saw an article on it, and it was like a small clip with no audio. And I got really excited. Plus, I'm a huge Patton Oswalt fan. Like that dude is freaking amazing to me.
Hmm.
But so I
You
saw
Walter
that.
Mitty?
Say again?
You like Walter Mitty?
I don't even know who Walter Mitty is.
Ben Stiller movie.
See, never seen that one.
Oh, dude.
See, I missed all the good stuff.
You guys got a lot of stuff to cover.
I know. It's so true. Okay, so let's see. What else do we want to bring up? We got the Walker scene is kind of self-explanatory. Do you guys have anything you want to add to that?
I have questions. That's it. So no, I'll wait until.
Yeah, I think we could just get to your questions then. I mean, we don't really know what's going to happen with Sharon yet. I assume she's going to be in more of the shows, so we'll probably have to figure out what happens with that.
It's like 50% of one of my questions. 50% answer to one of my questions.
Okay,
but
cool.
I'll start with the John question. So the John question was, we know John. I don't think he's going to be an anti-hero. I don't think he's going to be a hero or a villain. I think he's just going to be exactly what his name is, a U.S. agent. We work for government. There is nothing but gray area. So there's that's not per se the question. But what type of missions do you think he'll be getting as a U.S. agent?
Oh, I think it's going to be great because I think there's going to be definitely an instance where he is on the same mission that maybe a hero is on, and his objective is to neutralize a target. And the hero might be trying to either save or not neutralize a target, kind of like what we've already seen. But his missions are going to be neutralizing targets for sure for the government. Yeah,
Black Ops kind of thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You agree to John saying that he's like, Black Ops. That's all I need to.
And it wouldn't even surprise me if he tries to convince the government to give him like a platoon of super soldiers.
I actually think my personal thought is that's what's going to be coming with him.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to collect a few extra super soldiers that they know already exist. I think they've already been working on a serum. And aside from, so they have Carly's body, but the other ones were killed. The other Flag Smashers were killed by Zemo's driver.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm
except that one.
Excuse me.
That one that got dropped in the river.
Oh yeah, and the one that got dropped in the river. So they have Carly's body, and they have him who's alive. So they have plenty of people in blood to test on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's funny. It's funny that you bring that up with that question. And I was hoping like hell that Black Widow would come out because Thunderbolt Ross, the dude from Civil War and Incredible Hulk movie, he's supposed to be in.
Bruce's stepdad. I mean, father-in-law.
Hey, where's Betty? We haven't seen Betty.
Where is Betty?
We haven't seen Betty since before Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
This canner. We don't need her.
We don't need her.
And supposedly, I mean, that movie was supposed to come out before all this, and it's supposed to do some ties in with a possible Thunderbolt TV show or even movie. And the Thunderbolts is basically Suicide Squad without the whole brain blow your shit up thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole idea that supposedly that Thunderbolt Ross takes a version of the Super Soldier Serum along with some stuff from the Hulk and it's end up becoming Red Hulk. And he's like in charge of this whole division.
Mm-hmm.
So
that'd be pretty cool.
I can possibly see a U.S. agent hanging out with this dude, but they need to hurry up with this movie so we can start making more adjustments to it.
Right.
I mean, assessments to it.
No, yeah, for sure. And I totally agree with that because I've heard a lot of the movies and the placement has been shifted. So it's going to change how we look at the storyline. But doesn't he turn into Red Hulk after he comes back from space?
No. That's all Bruce. Bruce ends up conquering his whole planet.
The war planet.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, no. I know that part. But I mean, wasn't there a military space mission that Thunderbolt Ross went on? And that's when he gets the notion that he needs to become a super soldier or, he needs to be more of a deterrent as well. Like because there's some storylines that I know it's like, oh, he did it because he has to fight the Hulk and all that. But which way do you think they're going to go? Like it's more of a deterrent for the military or it's just something that.
I think it's going to be a deterrent for the military because the thing I love about the MCU so far is that they take so many great nods from like source material from the comic and make it into something new. So it's like one of those things where you just don't know. I'm like,
you.
you can't be like comic book for comic book, but I'm psyched about it. That's the best thing about it. It's just the anticipation of it.
Yeah, me too. I definitely think it's going to be fun. I think we have to be careful, or at least Disney needs to be careful, because I can see Marvel fatigue coming in the next few months. To be honest, I know that we're going to be hit with at least 4 more TV shows, and then the movies, and it's like, all right,
3 movies in the next 2 years.
I think
3
movies.
I think they could spread it out too, but I think it's also like Disney Plus doesn't have anything else to keep its customers, so they keep pushing out this Marvel stuff, and I'm like, dude, you guys got to pump the brakes on that. Like, I'm excited for Loki, but I don't know how many more Marvel TV shows I can watch after that.
And how excited are we going to be for Loki after a month away from all of this?
Yeah, exactly.
And I think it's one of those things where it's like you always want to see what's going to happen next, which is kind of cool, because I think after Loki, Loki is June.
Yes.
So that's going to be 6 episodes. So we're going to get that for just about a month. Oh, they trimmed it to 6.
They trimmed it. Okay.
And I could be wrong.
No. They may have, because I know this one at first was projected for I think 9. They cut that down. WandaVision was slated for 10. They cut that one back 1. So yeah, it's possible.
And I know right after that we got Black Widow that's going to be released in July.
Can we just run to that? I just want that. Like, if I'm being honest, I just want that. I've been waiting for that for so long that I want that.
Yeah, I'm going to be brutally honest. I'm going to pay the $30 just to watch it at home. I'm going to pay it.
Nice.
I'm not mad at you. I'm trying to go see that one on a silver screen, because Scarlett Johansson has definitely done that character a million times justice. And I don't think my TV, as great as it looks, would be the same as watching the Black Widow being an actual super soldier, because anytime she's around Captain America, it's like, oh, she's just a really good fighter. Like, no, she's a super soldier.
Eye candy.
I can't. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hey, the cat suit kind of explains all that. Can't argue that.
Right. All right. Do you guys want to mention anything else before we wrap this one up?
Oh, last 2 questions. These are going to be much faster than that one.
Okay.
Do we think Bucky, and we kind of touched on them, like I said, a little bit. Do you guys think for sure that Bucky moves to New Orleans? My answer is yes. I just don't have a timeline for how long.
I think he's going to be coupled up with Sam for a while. At least that makes the most sense, unless he goes back to Wakanda. But the Wakandans don't want him right now. So.
He has to. Yeah, they told him to keep his distance for a while. I don't think he's banned from Wakanda.
Yeah,
but
but they're not happy with him right now. So yeah.
Oh, also, I realized from the Zemo scene, he was in the raft the first time. That's where he broke him out of.
That was the raft the first
time?
It
had to be, because he was back in the exact same time.
No, that wasn't the raft. No way.
Am I tripping?
No, yeah, because the raft is
that's
like
not the raft.
The raft is like inside the ocean.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I would assume that's not the raft, but
I think it was in Great Britain or something. Somewhere easier.
Yeah, much easier.
Sure. But I'm just like, the cell he was in looked a lot like the cell he was in at the beginning.
Yeah, it definitely did. Yeah. But I don't know if he's ever going to be able to make it out of the raft. I mean, somebody's going to have to break him out, probably.
He might be part of that whole Thunderbolts thing.
Oh, that would be cool.
Zemo was part of the Thunderbolts program at some point. So, yeah.
They need his knowledge.
Then after that, just escape. Goodbye.
Yeah, right. Yeah, see ya.
As normal. And so,
No, I was just gonna go to Madripoor and take Sharon's position.
Man, and I would love to see him do that. Actually,
right? Yeah,
definitely.
Why not?
And bring Wolverine at it too.
Bring Wolverine, yeah.
Well, that's the big thing, because the big thing about some people were like, oh, they're bringing. We're gonna get some hints to Wolverine, because that was his spot.
Oh, Madripoor.
That was his spot.
Oh, cool.
That's why it makes so much sense. Okay, or that not make so much sense. That's why it sounded so familiar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
oh, that would be a great way to bring in Wolverine for sure.
And that's where his wife lives, right?
Which one?
The one, not you silly, but the one whose dad was the doctor who implanted the adamantium in both of them.
I don't know, to tell you the truth.
I can't remember his name. I can't remember her name, but I remember her face. I know her, like, because her hand.
Oh, you're talking about so You're talking about Lady Deathstrike. Deathstrike was her father, but that was a whole Japanese thing, and Adaman, and that was like due to government. So they changed the canon so much, I can't really say.
Okay. Can we send Wolverine to Wakanda so he can get a vibranium overhaul?
Oh my God. I was thinking that this whole time, like, what's stronger, adamantium or vibranium?
I think vibranium for sure.
Yeah. That's the argument. Heard that so many times.
I mean, only one of them is considered an alien ore, so I would assume it would be the alien ore that's strongest.
Well, apparently, but I mean, like if you go by the X-Men Origins Wolverine, then adamantium is an alien ore too.
No.
Nobody's talking about X-Men Origins ever for anything.
And that's just the video game. The video game
was golden. That was the first introduction to Wakanda. You guys, come on.
That was Africa, man.
Oh, it was just Africa. I thought they
said you mistake. They probably said Rwanda.
Okay, maybe.
No, I'm just messing with you. No, I don't know.
I don't know either, to be honest. But yeah,
that's a good one.
Okay, sure. You got any other ones there?
So last one. So we know Sharon's pardoned. She goes back to S.H.I.E.L.D. She is the power broker. And you kind of were already alluding to this. So you kind of answered, I guess, either 50% or probably even over 75% of your answer for this, Nick. What do we see for Sharon next? And I know, like I said, you had the most to say about Sharon and where you thought she was going. So you probably don't have as much to say about this. I just want to still ask so we can make sure we're clear. I'll share mine, and then I would like Dijon to share his as well. But where do we think Shannon is going? What do we think her, aside from, of course, we know she's going to use a weapon, but like, how far into this do we think she's going? Is it just like, oh, I'm going to do some weapons deals to tie up some loose ends? Or do you think she's going to go full on double agent?
I think double agent. I think she's gonna have some personal battles. And then she might get pissed off when she see old Steve eventually.
That's what I'm thinking. She gonna find out he's still alive. She gonna find out some things she didn't want to know. And then it's like, oh, you know what? I was only gonna do this temporarily, but I am a double agent.
Some bullshit.
Or she gonna find out something cold or icy that happened to Auntie Peggy back in the day, and she gonna hold it against everybody.
Right. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting for sure. She could just end up being like an ultimate villain type for sure.
Yeah.
You know, just start amassing more and more power. And
I could see her in Spectrum fighting soon.
Oh, she could just be like a puppet master type, you know, like you can't even get to her. She's the one that's, you know, pulling all the strings in the background.
Right.
Yeah.
Or maybe she might be scheduled for Cap 4.
She might be scheduled for Cap 4, you think? Probably. That would make a sense. Yeah. Because she seems to have some sort of beef with Sam anyways. So
she feels like he left her. That's easy.
Yeah.
That was Steve, though.
That was Steve.
That was Steve.
Definitely Steve.
I know.
He just said, well, fuck it. I don't care.
And I think Steve was just mad because, you know what I'm saying, he couldn't, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Fair enough. Yeah. Well, sure. Cool. Yeah. Anything else, you guys?
That's all for me.
Sounds good. Awesome. Well, great. Thank you so much, you guys, for listening. We very much appreciate it. We hope that you enjoyed this episode. We definitely enjoyed Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier. What's up, Keelan? Go ahead. Sorry.
We did forget one thing.
Oh, what did we forget?
Ratings.
Oh, our rating. That's a good point.
We have not rated this season.
That's true. I will go. I'm going to say 7 out of 10. There's a lot of really strong points for me. It's still, you know, the genre is just not my favorite. I'm not really that big into like the espionage thriller type thing, but everything else hit really great beats. I think that the fighting was pretty decent. I really enjoyed Sam and Bucky. Obviously, they make the show. Zemo made the show too. But there are some things that just fall flat for me. Mainly the villains. The villains in this just weren't villainy enough for me. So that's 7, I think. Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Dijon?
I give it an 8.
Okay.
It did everything it had to do. Just like I said, I wish it was just a set villain, but it seems like it's just a setup, just a setup to
Something
put
next.
certain things in perspective and in place. But yeah, we'll see.
Okay. I too gave it an 8. And my reasoning was the introduction of a few new things for me, at least. The consistency of the characters. I shared the same feeling you felt, Nick, about the villains. Like we could have had more villainy. But if we're talking about, like, I didn't expect there to be as much action. I didn't expect there to be as much raw, gritty, real worldness to this series. I am not a political person, and I usually don't support many political things, but I appreciated that they had the cojones to put as much political satire and information and kind of just push the consumer to that line of either you're going to be uncomfortable or you're going to be confused, but you're going to feel something by the end of this moment.
Certainly. I think that, I agree. I think that, there's definitely political commentary going on. Sometimes it falls flat. Other times it does really well. I think that, the Sam's, sort of storyline is incredibly important. And I think that they nailed that in my opinion. But as I said, the Flag Smashers I got to take it down points for that.
The Flag Smashers suck, but what I just want to make sure I state that I just thought it was really decent of Disney, seeing as how they also own, I don't know, Fox, CNN,
ABC, as we see,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and that's not to take shots at Disney, but just the honesty of there is a well-roundedness. If you were to put this in the realm with all of those other things that we know Disney is involved with, this would give it a more of it would turn the crescent into a circle a little bit more.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. We very much appreciate it. That was our rundown of the finale of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We hope that you enjoyed this episode. I know I certainly did. I had a great time with my two colleagues here. Thank you to Dijon, and thank you obviously to Keelan. It was a great episode and a lot of fun watching this and reviewing it with you guys. Let us know what you guys would like us to review in the future. If you have any comments, please feel free to leave them in the comment section. Maybe consider giving us a subscription on our YouTube channel. That would really help us out. We are trying to build that audience, and we just hope that we're good, providing you guys with good content. So thank you very much. Please be sure to check out what Keelan does on his podcast, If Numbers Could Talk. That is usually on Tuesday nights. We made an exception this week, but Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. is when you can find him on the Think Ring Talks page on Facebook, on his YouTube and Facebook page. If Numbers Could Talk, please go check him out. I also got a podcast called Exofathom if you want to check that out as well. We are on Monday and Friday at 8 p.m. But if you're a purist and just want to hear us babble about movies and TV shows, we very much appreciate you. And thank you for taking this trip through the Screen Time Continuum with us. For Screen Time Continuum, I am Nick.
And I am Keelan.
And I am the Mustard.
Thanks, you guys.